This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm a child of the night, and I've seen Dracula, the 1931 horror classic from Tod Browning, adapted from the novel by Bram Stoker. The film is effectively a straightforward telling of the story, from Dracula's travel from his native Transylvania into London, his spree of murders for the sake of his own survival, and the efforts of Dr. Van Helsing to stop him before it is too late for the doctor living next door to Dracula's new home, and especially for the doctor's daughter, whom Dracula has set his sights upon. It goes without saying that this film is certainly one of the most famous and influential horror films of all time. That said, it's not very easy to see how, at least outside of Dracula himself and Bela Lugosi's performance, which has become synonymous with the character even to this day. The story and plotting of the film is very slow-moving, seemingly meant to draw attention, but otherwise just kind of plodding along, stretching scenes out and wringing out as much presence and performance from the cast as possible, which works out sometimes to build suspense, but in other cases does nothing. The story itself is also pretty simplistic and streamlined, which is fine, but kind of lessens the stakes of Dracula's actions and his potential reign of terror over London by limiting it to one small group of people, and a rather flat group of protagonists at that. Only Van Helsing seems concentrated on fighting Dracula, while the others seem more concerned with the rather empty love story going on. The film as a whole seems pretty empty, from the pacing of scenes to the characters, and even the film's audio will drop out in favor of pure silence, either meant to give way to theaters to provide their own music, or because the filmmakers didn't think they would need any additional sounds. In any case, the lack of audio and other substance leaves the film feeling very hollow, as if what was going on within the film were happening in a small part of a larger room. While that idea may work if intended for a story, here it's more of a technical aspect that just brings a more overarching sense of sleepiness into the film. At the very least, the movie does at least have Bela Lugosi to look forward to during these scenes of downtime. His presence in the film, despite being as slow and methodical as the rest of it, is rather enrapturing and commanding, behaving less overtly as a horror monster and more as a gentlemanly figure, or at least until he hypnotizes his victims and feeds upon their blood. With his unique accent and speech patterns, and the ability to switch from a kindly man to a figure of terror on a dime, Lugosi's performance is more or less what carries the film, not only throughout its runtime, but also into the future of horror films and the portrayal of Dracula in later adaptations, homages, parodies, and whatever. Dracula. Tod Browning, 1931. 3 stars. I'd say to give it a watch. You may want to make your own music while you're at it, though. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews in the future. This is the 3rd horror film I've seen in as many days. I guess this means it's almost Halloween? I forgot to keep track of what day it is, and I keep forgetting to actually use Twitter.